Welcome back to another instance of the golden age of gear. Today is different, a little bit different.
Yeah.
I was in Toronto a couple weeks ago with my brother and my dad. We had gone to see the band Soul Coughing, hence the shirt. So actually, my wife told me to stop wearing this shirt because I've been wearing it so much in stuff, but I'm trying to make it look old, you know?
Nice.
So I'm not washing it at all. Anyway, so my dad hasn't really been to Toronto. Well, I mean, he's been to Toronto a bunch, but he hasn't been for quite a long time. So I took him to some of my favorite spots. Took him to see Frank Brothers Guitars, which was really lovely. And I took him to Capsule Music, which is like one of the greatest guitar shops in Canada, I think. And at the time that we were there, they had just gotten a batch of, I don't know, I want to say like 15 or 20 guitars from this dude's collection that were all right up my dad's alley. I don't want to talk about them in case they haven't announced them yet, but just like nothing crazy, but some really special guitars. So it was a really great day. And for me, as much as I like old guitars, I can't afford old guitars. So
Right.
I'm always looking at the pedal shelf, and they had a couple of pieces. There's been a Maxon Overdrive, which I think we'll do on another episode, that I've been seeing in there for like literally years.
Yeah.
And I finally was like, I'm just going to buy it. It was $89.99.
Yeah.
The guy was like, this is a price tag we put on it like
10 years ago.
probably more.
Yeah.
And then they had something really, really cool, which also I'm pretty sure has been there for a long time because I remember thinking about it. But so they had an MXR Blue Box Fuzz, which are pretty rare nowadays. I think there's a reissue of them, but they're pretty rare, and they've actually gone up quite significantly in price.
Okay.
And so they had this one sitting in the counter for $199, and I'd said like, hey, these kind of, they're pretty sought after. Like, you know, they're going for a little more money than this. And they were like, yeah, are they? Whatever.
Yeah.
You know, those guys are selling, you know, $40,000-$50,000 guitars, if not more. So they're not super concerned about a fuzz pedal. But so I grabbed it. I grabbed the fuzz pedal and the MXR Overdrive. And when I started like looking through it, I kind of discovered that I had like lucked into something pretty cool. So I haven't even plugged it in because it only runs off a battery, and I don't have any 9-volt batteries kicking around the studio at the moment. They're in all my like 30 wah pedals that I never use. So I figured it would be a cool thing to do to just like unbox it, show it off, plug it in. Hopefully it works. And yeah.
Cool.
And I thought it was just kind of cool because you're always doing the guitar shop vids, and I don't do a whole lot of that anymore. So it was just kind of a cool moment, and I thought you would appreciate it. So
Yeah. I mean, that's my favorite thing about when you go to a guitar store is if you find something that, especially if you luck out and you find something that you're like, that's rare. Also, for some reason, you have it marked at the price that it probably sold for, you know, when it was new or close to new, and it should be, you know, 3 to 5 times that price.
Yeah.
But you luck out into this crazy deal just because who owns the shop just doesn't care. They're into it for whatever they're into it, and they mark it up their 30 points or whatever they
and
are
I
trying
think
to get on it.
that's likely the case with this. Like, as far as I remember, I have been seeing this pedal in the counter at Capsule since I lived there in like 2015.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a cool pedal, but I don't know. It's not like a vintage fuzz face.
Right.
It's not like one of those things that somebody's going to go, oh my God, I need that. But I just hopped off my wallet at the right time. But so here's the box, which I'm really excited about. It's really, really cool.
So
But
do you know how old it is? Like, because obviously
I do.
looking at the box, it's
yeah, I do.
very.
I dated it, and based on the pot serial numbers on the backs of the pots are from 79.
Okay.
And the pardon me, the serial number on the circuit board is from 80.
Okay.
So goes back
from
to
the year
1980.
I was born.
There you go. So it's a 75-year-old pedal.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is like Still has the 199 sticker on it from definitely a long time ago. It has the warranty card, which is like in super good shape. List price $109.95 was the original price.
Okay, okay. Sidebar on that before you say anything else. Think about that. 109.95 in 1980. Like, what was minimum wage in 1980 in Canada? $2 an hour, maybe? Like, when I started working in 94, 95, minimum wage wasn't $5 an hour yet.
Yeah, right.
So that was $100 and some dollars. So just for all you folks, not to start any fights, but for everybody who complains about like $200 pedals are so expensive, like adjusted for inflation, that pedal in 1980 is the equivalent of like an $800 pedal today.
Well, who knows? Maybe maybe the dates are wrong. I don't know. It's like it's got to be right.
I mean, I'm sure it's right because when I bought my first pedal, it was in I want to say 92 or 93.
Yeah.
I bought the DoD Hard Rock distortion pedal.
Yeah.
And I paid I would think it was $130 or $120 Canadian.
I don't ever remember paying less than $100 for a pedal.
No.
In my time.
No. So, and I mean, and back then minimum wage was like in Canada or Manitoba was like $4 something an hour.
Yeah.
So like you could work for the better part of part-time. I mean, I remember working several months to make enough money to buy a pedal. Part-time, not full-time, but yeah.
There you go.
But,
I mean,
okay, also.
So then also the sticker, and it's all just like, it's such good shape. It's like.
Can I see that?
Yeah. Pull it off.
So the way you can tell that this is actually old, because in my other life, I also own a company that makes lots of stickers. So your backing paper here, the fact that it's yellowed like this, right? And you see how that's like shrunk? And for everybody, you see how the vinyl from the decal is not even to the backing paper?
Oh, yeah.
That's because vinyl shrinks, but the paper doesn't.
Right.
So, that's just an indicator that like this has been sitting for a long time.
That's cool.
Because it just slowly.
Right.
Yeah. If you ever see your stickers from anything, like kind of do that. That's why for anybody who cares about any of that stuff, that's why on all the new stickers you put a back slit on it.
Right.
Because then it's easy to peel.
Right.
So, but anyway, enough about printing.
I can't wait to put this on my my dresser in my bedroom.
Don't you dare put that on anything.
But this is the coolest part. This is the instruction manual that is like obviously originally written out on a typewriter. Dear customer, the purpose of this letter is to provide you with all the information needed for you to get the most out of your MXR Blue Box. The Blue Box is not just a plug-in and play product. It requires a bit more of the musician in terms of familiarizing himself with the nature of this unique device. And it just sort of goes on to explain that it's a fuzz pedal with an octave circuit in it.
Can I see it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I love that it's just like, it's all yellowed. It's all like...
Yeah, it's pretty special.
That's amazing. Like I've seen lots of old pieces of gear and often have the box. I've never seen anything that has like this.
Yeah.
Like,
and so according to ChatGPT, which who knows? Yeah. But this thing is pretty valuable. Like I thought it was going to be around $600 or $700, which is what you see them for often.
Yeah.
But with the box and all the documentation and stuff like that, and the date codes from the pots, it's like closer, could be worth as much as $2,000 US. I don't know. Like I think there's probably more people who are more knowledgeable about this sort of era of pedals than me. So I think just asking ChatGPT is like a slightly faster way to Google something. So it's like who knows what it's actually worth. But I'm definitely going to hang on to this thing because it's like. It's just so cool. Such a cool piece of history. But hey, thanks for tuning in to the Golden Age of Gear with Derek and Joey.
Yeah, if you guys could do us a huge favor and hit that subscribe button, maybe ring the bell, it would help us out a lot. All right, back to it.
Cool. Let's plug this thing in and hear some sounds. And while you're doing that, so the circuit itself is a fuzz with a lower octave blend.
Okay.
So when the blend knob is all the way up, it's all the way fuzz, and then as you bring it down, it sort of brings in. I don't know if it's like if you can get all low octave, but it's analog, so you'll have to kind of like it'll track better if you pick sort of closer to the octave position of above where you are. So anyway, let's just hear it.
Sounds awesome.
It really, really does. Let's turn the blend all the way up and get it kind of like, see what it is.
This way or the other way?
Yeah, that way.
Yeah.
Just as a fuzz box. I really like that as a fuzz pedal too.
Yep.
Like.
Yeah.
Let's
all the way the other way. That tracks really well.
Wow. That is gnarly. That is really wild.
Is it meant to be that it like moves to the octave down, or is it 2 octaves down? Or is it just 1?
It's 2 octaves.
2 octaves down, yeah. What happened?
I am going to be an idiot, the idiot who just puts Velcro on this thing and uses it, aren't I? Let's hear how it does chords.
Yeah.
That's Tears in Heaven by Eric Clapton.
Nice. Try it again with just the fuzz. Let's see.
I mean, that's a dope fuzz too. Fingers are broken. You should try this thing.
Okay.
Ooh.
I don't know how to play it.
I don't know what key it's in. I couldn't tell you what key it's in. So maybe here? Something like that.
It's the right,
cool
it's the right
fuzz.
sound.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what. I'm really shocked at how well it tracks.
Yeah.
Like. It just freaks out, eh? Like
I don't even know how to. I wrote this song about getting my soldering iron too close to my pickups. Do it again.
I mean, it sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, and it feels really, really good. Like, even when it's falling apart, it still feels like smooth as it does it, which,
Yeah.
like, I mean, I don't have like a ton of experience with fuzz pedals, so, but that's not normal to me. Like, it doesn't, like, normally when they start falling apart, like, that's when you're like, oh, I have to keep playing because it's kind of breaking off. But this,
it's just like infinite sustain. Yeah, that's a really, really cool pedal.
like,
I might have to get myself a one that's not quite so unique, like a vintage one, because I want to use that, but I don't want to trash it.
right. Yeah, I have the same kind of like dilemma, right? Like I have Klons and they sound amazing and I want to use them, but I'm also like, ooh, I don't want to put these on a board.
I do feel like with a Klon though, like it's acceptable if it's a bit beat up, where something like this is kind of like part of the cachet of this particular one is like, you got the box.
Yeah.
You got the documents. If I put Velcro on it and it gets like pedal board rash, like what's really cool about this is like there's scratches on the bottom. It's never been affixed to anything. Somebody just had this on the floor.
Do you know what you could probably do? You could probably just get a different MXR bottom. Throw another bottom on there with Velcro.
There you go.
And then you could use it. But I don't know. I also like...
Or just take the circuit out and rehouse it in like a new Dynacomp or something.
That's way too much work. Just find another one.
Yeah.
It's got to be another pawn shop or something that's got...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, if you have a new MXR Blue Box that you want to send us...
Yeah. Or if you
free.
see one for,
less than $700. Yeah. Let us know.
Around $199, that would be great.
Yeah.
Again, that is to me the coolest thing about going to guitar stores is the chance that you find something like that. It's only happened to me a handful of times, but yeah, there's been a handful of times where I go in and I see a piece of gear and I'm like, that's worth $800 and or $500, and they've got it listed for $129.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
This is the first time this has happened to me where like, because I knew that it had value, but I just didn't realize that it had this value.
Yeah.
And also, extra bonus points, it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that tracks so unbelievably well. It's just a wall of mud, eh?
Just King Koopa.
Yeah.
Imagine though, like showing up to a Journey gig and you're Neil Shaw and you're like, "Oh, I just found this cool pedal," and they're just like, maybe not.
That's cool for you.
Yeah.
It's not cool for
Little did
Journey.
they know that's going to be the sound of 2010 grunge blues music. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super into that.
Yeah, great find. Yeah. So are you more convinced now that you got to go check out guitar stores? I mean, it has to be that type of store, like Capsule, for anybody who hasn't been to Toronto or been there. It's in this crazy place. Like, it's hard to find. You have to like go down like this tiny walk, like alleyway between two buildings,
The
around a
entrance is
corner
on the
down.
back side of the building, which is like hard to find, especially in Toronto.
And down the stairs, like in like what would be like a cellar area or a basement area.
Yeah, it's tiny.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you walk in and it is wall to wall cool shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, not everything is super crazy valuable either, but
No.
everything in there is cool.
yes.
Great amps, great guitars, and knowledgeable staff. Not so much when it comes to pedals, I guess.
I was going to say, the fact that they had this isn't really that shocking to me because I've been there a couple of times and their pedal selection, like there is none. Like they have 50 pedals or 30 pedals in a case and that's it.
Yeah.
And it is a range of like weird old shit. And when I say old shit, I do mean shit. Like there's some stuff in there that you're like, that's,
Dan Electro
garbage.
sitar pedal.
yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I also got my second vintage Vox wah in there, which was, mind you, it was basically toast, but it was for what it was. I paid $400 for it, and it's like those things go for $1,000 all day long.
Yeah.
It didn't sound very good and needed a lot of work. So,
Right.
but
So-
yeah,
Yeah.
Anyways, I will say if you find yourself in Toronto, you're looking for a great guitar shop, Capsule is the one. There's not really much left there anymore.
Yeah.
Just it's kind of Toronto is a little bit going the way of Vancouver, where things are just so expensive that they can't really exist anymore. But Capsule is sort of the last bastion of cool stuff in terms of guitar gear in Toronto.
And that type of store just like everywhere has gone away because
Everything's going online.
I was going to say, the people who own those shops realize, well, I can just sell online. I don't need to have a storefront at all because so many of them, like they'll get a collection in from somebody. And as soon as they get it, they already have buyers in mind. It's kind of like, you ever go to Larry, like Red Rock's place, and he's got like several vintage Fenders sitting there and you're like, this is awesome. How much is it? He's like, oh, it's already sold. Like, yeah. Oh no, I heard, I already had somebody in mind for that as soon as it got here. So it's gone. And you're like, like, I feel like those types of shops are turning into that where it's like you get something in or I should say they get something in and they already have the buyer lined up before it even hits their door.
Yeah.
So they don't need it. And between that and Reverb, just move stuff all day long. So, but cool shop. Dorian, you bought a Les Paul there, right? Yeah. Yeah. I had a great time when I was there.
Yeah.
Cool guitars.
Yeah.
So check it out if you get a chance. And great find. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us, everybody. A question for all you. What is, if you made it this long, what is your coolest guitar store find? Like, what's your like hidden gem thing or diamond in the rough that you found at a guitar shop? I'd love to hear in the comments. If you found something similar to this, where killer pedal, also super high value compared to what you paid for it, like you scored big. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you on the next one.